You thought we were done, but we are not done. No. You messed up my intro. It doesn't matter. It wasn't very good anyway. We're not done with this game because which one was ours? This one?
I guess so.
Yeah, this one would be it because we don't have all the DK coins, but we do have all the Chrome coins. This was our old one that we aced. Just saying, and we're gonna try to beat the time record because I think that was our old LP, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And we're gonna try to beat the time record. I think we're in pretty good standing to do that. We just gotta beat the Lost World in under 3 hours, which sometimes is pretty difficult.
Yeah, sometimes, but let's see here.
Okay, so we are back to do by far the most difficult part of the game. First of all, we have got to head back here.
Hothead,
Is there no Lost World thing for Gangplank Alley?
no, Crocodile Cauldron is where it starts.
That's weird. I never noticed that. Why do they do that?
Because I guess that's actually on Crocodile Isle.
Okay, so anyway, Clubber's Chaos. You're gonna do his voice.
Scurvy chumps ahoy! Come on, ye young fellas, try and cross Columbus Bridge without paying, I dare ye.
We'll fight him.
Yeah.
Oh!
You'll have to find me more than that to pass.
Oh no, we can't fight him. I just
great.
felt like doing that, I don't know why.
Aha, it's a flea-ridden gorilla again. Pay the toll and you'll suffer a penalty, I promise ye.
Or you'll suffer.
I was just thinking there, like, this doesn't sound like a fair deal. We pay him 15 gold coins for him to beat us up. Anyway, we're gonna pay.
'Tis me it mates, the barrel's all yours.
I love how he just changes as soon as money is involved.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so I don't know where we're gonna make that cut, but we just realized that we did not have near enough lives to take on the Lost World, so I have stocked up to like some crazy number, like 67 or something. I forget, I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, today we're going into the Lost World, Jungle Jinx, which is a lot different than Jungle Hijinks from the first one. I always used to get the two confused, and I still don't know what like Jinx and Hijinks are. Are they like jeans and like shorts and like? No, I don't want to go there. That's not what I meant to say. The whole thing was never meant to happen. Anyway, tires coming down and trying to crush you, just like there was this massive tire factory that just got the door ripped off of it, and they just kept production going because they didn't want to stop it.
Yeah, the guide, not that we need it or anything.
We've never used a guide in our entire lives.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
Oh,
That's gotta hurt. Mentions that Krul hasn't heard about preserving the rainforest, so apparently this is his doing.
oh really?
Yeah. Oh, that was a risk.
65.
I thought I could take it.
But you couldn't. So there's gonna be a lot of dying in this level, because that's what we're good at. We're really good at dying, and we're also good at telling tales.
Yeah.
Today I wanted to tell a conglomeration of tales, and that's my new favorite word 'cause it sounds like casserole. Well, not really. It just sounds like, conglomeration kind of sounds like this glob of cons.
Okay.
That
doesn't sound too good.
Okay, I know, but it sounds appetizing for some reason. Anyway, I wanted
You
to
like
tell
to eat cons.
a conglomeration of dog tales. Because I've got a lot of. We just were going through our tale list, and we realized that we have a lot of tales about dogs that are kind of like sparse. They're like, I don't know if that's the right word, but it also makes me think of a spice when I say sparse. And that makes me hungry again.
Oh boy.
So anyway, they're kind of like, they're not very filled out. Like you would be if you ate a lot of food. So, first of all, I want to give a backstory. When I was about 3 or 4, I got bit by a dog, but we're not going to go into that tale because it's kind of sad. Anyway, that instilled in me a deep fear of dogs ever since that point. And I've never really been the same. I've gotten over it to a large extent, but I do still get jumpy because I've had lots of bad experiences with dogs, as we're about to delve into.
He has.
So first one was probably when, that was a good voice crack, I'm just gonna say. The first one that I'm probably gonna go into is a point where the same playground where the swing thing happened, we were right next to those flying swings that I had talked about before. So right next to those, we were playing there one day, just me and my sister. My parents apparently let us go by ourselves for some reason.
Because I was big enough.
You were like, how old, 12?
Yeah.
Okay, and you were just like, yeah, I can handle my 4-year-old brother here at the playground, but you had no idea what was going to happen. So, we were playing just normally, and through the open gate of the playground runs our neighbor's dog. And it is decently far away from home. I mean, it's on the same block, but oh yeah, we gotta get a bonus per higher. It's on the same block, but I don't know why it was there. It had just gotten away for some reason. But anyway, I was terrified of this thing. But it comes at me, and the neighbor kid that we used to play with, he was really rough with his dog.
Yeah.
And every time you would play with him, he'd play really rough, so that's how the dog was used to playing. And so, the dog wanted to play really rough with me, which terrified me. It basically knocked me down, it got on top of me, and it started, like, mauling me. It was yes. Okay, listen.
It must have felt like it, though.
Yeah, I did get scratches all over my back. But anyway, then Yumi came to the rescue and she was all like, yo, I'm gonna take this dog out. So she was like, she didn't take the dog out.
No.
But she like kicked at it until it like went home. It was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually kick it, but anytime it came near, I like thrust my foot in its direction so that it backed off. Because it did not want to stop.
No, it was on top of me and I couldn't get up.
And I kept like trying to like get Flash behind me and everything, and she just kept wanting to go around and tackle him again, so I basically had to like tell her, back off here.
I felt like a true toy at that point.
Yeah.
And this was not the time that I got bit by the dog. This was a different time.
Yeah.
This was after that had already happened. So as you can understand, like being 4 years old, I was pretty terrified at this point. Because I've always been really sensitive and had irrational fears.
Yeah.
That's something I'm really good at. So anyway, that happened, and we ran across the street, and we got safe, and I was terrified that this dog was going to come inside after me into the building we were in. And
yeah, he was actually scared that it would break through the windows or the door and come after him, and I had to keep telling him no.
Listen, this was scary, okay?
That's not gonna happen.
But, yeah. So that was not exactly a fun tale. But just a little while after that, I don't think it was too long after that at all.
No.
We were driving, and there was this bookstore that our dad wanted to go to for some reason. I don't even know where it was.
And it was at night, too. We were, like, the only people there besides the store owner.
And 2 guests. because it was about to get real. Basically, they let me walk around this bookstore by myself, because they told me to go pick out a book or whatever that I wanted. So I was like, okay. And so I go over there, and there's this nice little reading chair in the corner of the bookstore, and it looks so inviting until I saw that it was already occupied by 2 little doggies.
Fluffy little terriers.
And they were probably the cutest thing in the world, but I was still scared of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, listen, I looked these guys down, and we had a staring contest that lasted probably about 10 seconds.
I wasn't really right at that point, so yeah.
But
I heard what happened next.
just gonna drink there, my water. Anyway, I just had a long staring contest with these guys, and I knew that I was dead. Cause I had this like book in my hand, and then this dog, there's this black dog, this brown dog. The black dog is like, freaks out, and it starts running towards me, and I just throw the book up in the air and take off.
Yeah, with a scream.
Yumi was gonna try to copy the scream that I did, because I don't remember it, but she says she does. What did it sound like?
It was just like the most distressed little scream. He was just like, ah! Only like in a higher pitch voice.
So I had it with dogs at that point.
And he just threw the book behind him, and it like crashed to the floor, and then he just like ran, I think, behind Dad or something.
I just had to find Dad as quick as possible.
And then
the amazing books at that point.
And the store owner was at this point kind of like, what happened? And we just kind of had to explain, well, you see, he's kind of jumpy around dogs, and
dogs are kind of jumpy around me, apparently, because that was uncalled for.
And she felt really bad. She was a really nice lady.
But the thing is that right after that had happened, apparently I turned around when the dogs barked and ran, but what I didn't realize is that they were barking and running from me.
Yeah.
Because they took off running.
The one dog that had barked at him ran into, like,
her office.
Yeah. And then later, after Dad was calming Flash down, he's like, do you want to know where the one dog is? And then we like look under one of the bookshelves.
It's like we're like cowering.
And that little thing was huddled under a bookshelf, just like, don't cry. It was so cute.
Just because my scream of terror was actually this like primal rage scream. It was my war cry, and they knew it.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to decimate them with my like Sesame Street book or whatever.
I don't even remember what book it was.
No.
But I was like a preteen at that point, like about to become a teenager within the year, and then I was just like, oh man, why did this have to happen? I didn't even want to be here anyway, and now this all happened like in front of the store owner. And
Yeah. She was like really self-conscious about the whole thing.
And I was just kind of, if at one point I felt kind of bad that Flash got scared because he's scared of dogs. And then I kind of felt mad at the dogs for barking at him. And then I felt kind of annoyed because the dogs are just small. I mean, come on, Flash. Why did you have to be scared of them?
I was gonna take them, okay?
Yeah.
But they just got the best of me that time. Anyway, that was one of the funnier dog tales. But probably the funniest one was a couple of years later. I think I was about 10 or 11 at this point. And I had a friend who actually watches these videos, by the way, so I can't say anything bad about him. Anyway, because he was just... I was brave, and he was brave, but this took us by surprise. I don't know if he remembers this. I'm going to pause at this point again, because I'm annoying. But we were playing football out in the yard, because that was the thing that we used to do a lot, me and this kid. And at one point, we were playing football, and there was this dog, okay, that before, to give you a bit of backstory, we went around town on walks a lot, and we would see this dog, and no matter where we'd go, he'd turn up.
This dog was notorious to just roam the neighborhood doing whatever it wanted.
Like, I'm not joking, we went all over the neighborhood, everybody knew his name. His name was Juno. And everybody, we walk, and he'd come up next to us, and some random guy out of some random house would pop the window and go, "Hey, Juno, get out of here!" And then, like, at the other side of town, the dog would appear out of nowhere, and somebody would open the door, "Hey, Juno!" And I was like, wow, how do you know this dog?
Yeah, he became notorious because he'd go into other people's yards. We saw him, like, take a bit of waffle from either a trash can or something. Like, he walked by with a...
stealing. He was the tramp.
Yeah, he was kind of... Although I think somebody owned him, but he was all over the place. Anyway.
He'd just walk by, and then all of a sudden there's this random dog and this random person out of nowhere. It's like, "Juno, get out of here!"
Yeah.
It, like, happened across state lines, too.
It was a husky.
But, yeah, so it was a big dog. Anyway, we were playing football this one day, and I had my back turned to the gate. And this high fence, it actually was like a 4-foot fence with spikes on top.
Not real spikes.
Yes, real spikes. And this kid I was playing with, all of a sudden his face goes like terrified, and he just manages to squeak out, "Flash!" He called me Flash. He was like, "Flash, the dog!" And his voice like faltered, and I'm like, "What?" And I turn around just in time to see this giant husky take our fence in one leap. And he just like flew over, and he landed right next to me. And it was like, whoa, like in my face, and I freaked out. Because I was still scared of dogs at this point, and I just turned around and he was in my face. And I did one of those little girl screams, and we both ran for it. We just ran and like slammed the door in the dog's face. And after that, I never really saw him again. I think maybe we saw him around town at some points, and people screaming, "Juno!" at him.
Yeah, if something happened, either the owner found him and kept him penned or tied up, or maybe the dog catcher got him, but I don't know.
But that was fun. So yeah, there's a lot of dogs all around our lives, and we just wanted to pay homage to them there.
Well, there is still one dog that we see on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, this dog's name is Joey.
Yeah.
And
we know because his owner yells at him frequently, like not yells, but kind of reprimands him because of what he does every single day.
Yes, every time we take a walk with the kids downstairs, we take them outside sometimes.
It's the kids in the basement. Why'd you say the kids downstairs?
Sorry, I went back to my first version of that. I used to call them the kids downstairs. Anyway, we walk by, and every day, out of nowhere, we go by this fenced house, and every day this dog will come out and fly out of this, wherever it is.
It's a little dog, by the way.
No, it's like massive. Okay?
No, it's...
Anyway, it's like,
Whoa! It's got one of those
freaks
little
out.
jingle bell collars on it, and so it jingles every
it has
place.
the most annoying bark in the world. And every time it comes out, it just like barks at us, and it goes nuts.
Yeah.
It flips around, it spins, it jumps, it
It runs back and forth in its fenced area. Apparently it's double fenced too to keep it away
Yeah,
from
double fence because
from the
this
outer
thing's
fence.
vicious.
And pretty much every single day we
For
walk
over
by
a year.
there. But every day that dog thinks it has to defend its territory from us and chase us away.
And so the owner always comes out and she's like, Joey, Joey, Joey. And she always, there's another thing, this owner, she always pretends to be on the phone when we come by. Like, I'm serious. Like, every time we come by, because she's really embarrassed about her dog and she doesn't want to deal with her embarrassment. So she just pretends to be on the phone.
We don't know.
Either that or she talks on the phone a lot. I'm just saying. Anyway, we have nothing against this lady, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, and once when we were walking by, we went past it, and it was like this really hot day, and Joey was freaking out as usual. And I heard her whisper when we went past, she was like, Joey, you're gonna have a stroke. She tries to take care of this dog, but he just flips out.
The one funny thing that I remember is during the summer she had this little like plastic pool for him to keep cool.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like,
He was like chilling in his...
and then we come by and it starts like barking in this pool and she tells him,
No. First, it was like rumbling. It was like shaking visibly, and it didn't do anything yet. But she was just like,
telling it like stay in the pool, and then right after she says that, it lets out this vicious flurry of barking, and then like with a huge splash, it jumps out of the pool.
it was like trembling before, and we didn't know what was gonna happen. She was just like, stay in the pool, and it was blew up.
And we just about lost it after that because it was so funny. And then later, like we were talking about that again, and then I made up, like, since he wasn't in the yard one particular day, sometimes we can still hear him barking in the house.
Yeah, he freaks out in the house too.
But once I just made up, like, if she would say, stay in the house, and then
He was
all
like,
of a sudden,
bust out the door.
busts out the door or window to get us. Oh man. And it's just the littlest thing, it's funny.
You know what we did? We beat a Lost World level while talking about dogs.
Yeah.
That takes talent. You know what we want to hear? We want to hear your dog tales. Do you have any funny... That was a really well-concealed burp. You need to clap for that. That was amazing. Do you have any funny dog tales that you'd like to leave in the comments that are probably better than ours? Because we didn't have any plan for this episode. We just told dog tales. Leave them in the comments. Tell us your experience with dogs, or if you have a dog. We don't have a dog, so...
Nah.
Technically, nah. So, this was a relatively short episode, but I think we're gonna cut it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.